Sometimes we as parents, celebrate it. Sometimes we stress about it. Summer break, to share some insight on helpful tips for parents and kids during these months. We're happy to call on BayCare Behavioral Health's Jenine Martin-Literski. Jenine, welcome to the show. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you so much for having me.
I mean, it's the truth. I told you before we started, I am celebrating summer. But when we celebrate, we can also stress about it too. So let's talk about the importance of, engaging kids, working on that bond perhaps between parents.
Right.
I mean, how do we want to start out? What are those things to keep in mind?
So I think it's important for parents to have some grace and compassion with themselves during this time.
Yeah.
So the school year can be very stressful. There's deadlines, there's time constraints, there's not a lot of time for parents and children to really connect and bond because you're worried about homework and getting to bed early and doing all of the things. And now that you have a little bit of a break, just kind of taking advantage of that time with your kids, whether it's playing with them or identifying some things that they're really kind of into and really getting to know them. So they've spent the last, several months in school and just really taking that time to talk with them and have fun with them. So we call it in my world, like delighting in your children.
Oh, I like that. Delighting in your children. I'm going to use that one when I'm thinking about it. We were playing Barbie last night. I was getting the tour of the dream house my daughter just did that we normally would be in bed for.
Yep.
So like that example, that delighting in your children, playing with your kids. Are there signs maybe we need to look out for or kind of see during this time perhaps?
Absolutely. So as a parent, you know your child best. So if you see something shift in their behavior or their mood, talking to them about it and then asking them some questions, but then also refraining from asking too many questions, right? Listening to them, validating them. Nothing that they tell you should be wrong. They shouldn't feel bad for expressing their feelings.
Okay.
And at the same time, if you hear something as a parent that's concerning for you, I always tell parents and families, like, getting help soon, early prevention is really the best thing that you can do. Because when a child comes in and let's say they're 8 years old, right? We can put some interventions in place versus if maybe this has been going on for a period of time and now maybe they're 14 or 15, it could look a little different. So I always tell parents, like, intervene very early. Don't be afraid to ask them questions, but then also sit back and allow them to tell you how they really feel.
Can I ask for any examples?
Sure.
What are things that you should, if you do hear from your child that you're like, this maybe isn't something, this is maybe something where I need to seek some help?
So if you see them maybe isolating a little bit more, that's a key sign for me as a clinician.
Okay.
If a parent tells me, my child used to be, super active, they would come out of their room and we would have dinners together and do things together, but now they're spending a lot of time on their phone, on social media, or on video games. That's for me as a clinician, I get a little pause for concern.
Okay.
And I want to know more, right? Like, so as parents and as caregivers, like, getting in there, if they're playing a video game, go in there and play with them, right? Ask them to teach you some of that. But at the same time, really kind of monitoring that social media and that video game usage. I feel like a lot of kids spend a lot of time there and that's where they're getting a lot of connectedness, but they're not getting the connectedness that they need from their family. And that's really what makes kids feel stable and secure and really loved.
I like that. Again, my daughter's tried to teach me video games. I'll continue to work at that, knowing that it means more. Parents, delight in your kids. I'm going to take that away. I'm so glad we had this conversation today. So thankful for you. BayCare.org if you maybe want to take the next step and are concerned about mental health sooner rather than later.